Hey guys, it's your girl Pink Tina, and we're back with some more videos. So today, I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 and Splatoon. Because I know the Nintendo Switch 2 has been a hot topic currently in the gaming land space, from the pricing of the console itself, from the pricing of Mario Kart World. I'll get into that maybe in a different video, but today I specifically want to talk about how the Nintendo Switch 2 can be such a benefit for the Splatoon series and honestly bring a lot more people to the game and could possibly become the best game that Nintendo Switch 2 could possibly produce. Yeah, because this is something that literally came into my brain as soon as I saw that it can do 120 frames, so I have to talk about this. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I do Nintendo videos, primarily Pokemon, Nintendo, Splatoon, Bayonetta, stuff like that. I make videos on games like that. So if you guys do enjoy any of those games, be sure to give me a subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and we're gonna get into this because this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. So the first thing I want to start off talking about today would be just the enhanced graphics and performance. So we all know the big seller of the Nintendo Switch 2 is its improvements in its graphics and frame rate performance. Pretty much is a powerhouse compared to the original Switch. The original Switch is on dated hardware and pretty much only goes up to like 60 frames 1080 when docked, opposed to the Switch 2 that does pretty much 1080 60 frames handheld, opposed to the 720 the Switch 1 does, and up to 4K resolution and 120 frames on docked, which is actually nuts. Especially for Splatoon's case, because Splatoon has been stuck on like 60 frames max for like years. So to have a Splatoon game where you can do 120 frames would make this such a more competitive game you don't even know. Like honestly, like I play Apex Legends a lot. Granted, I usually play on my PS5 and it's like stuck at 60 frames because I don't have the a monitor. I don't have a 4K monitor yet. I'm actually getting one because of Nintendo Switch 2 at this point, but I don't have that yet. So on the PS5, I usually just play on 60 frames and stuff like that. But when I play on PC, it's a lot smoother experience, meaning the responses are a little bit faster. You can react just a tad bit faster compared to the 60 frames. So you do have a competitive advantage when you play on higher frame rates. Trust me, it is very much so a thing. There's also if you want your stuff to look prettier, you can do the 4K, but since Splatoon is a third-person shooter, it's a shooter game, the frame rates, in my personal opinion, would be the more important aspect. With the enhanced graphics, that frame rate is gonna make Splatoon feel so much better. You don't even know. It's gonna feel so good to play, and it should feel a lot more, quote unquote, we're gonna say fair. Hopefully with the enhanced graphics and performance, they also bring better servers. This is wishful thinking, very, very wishful thinking. Hopefully we can go a little higher than the 20 tick servers that we're on, because 120 frames plus a little bit better hertz servers would make Splatoon 4 the go-to Switch game of the year, maybe century, whenever that comes out. Trust me, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be beautiful. It would just make the game so much better. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Just the overall competitive aspect of the game will go up tenfold just simply for 120 frames. The next thing that would make this game even better is the game chat integration that Nintendo is releasing with the Switch 2. So essentially, the Switch never really had game chat unless you want to count the Nintendo Switch Online app as game chat. Nobody really used that, honestly. But now with the game chat built into the console now, it makes it a little bit better to play Splatoon or any game, honestly, any multiplayer game. But we're gonna talk about Splatoon because this is specifically a Splatoon video. Splatoon is a multiplayer team game. So since the Switch did not have like integrated game chat into the system, it was such a big miss, if you ask me, because not everybody uses Discord, not everybody has a Nintendo Switch app. So having game chat built into your console now makes it a little bit better for us Inklings and Octolings to communicate with each other when we're playing Splatoon, honestly. So like Summer 1 would be a lot easier. ranked. Oh, thank God, ranked would be a lot easier because you could talk to people now. Like, that is a really, really, really big step forward, and a lot of people don't understand unless you like. First of all, I can play multiplayer games without communicating with people because, not to toot my own horn, I'm just that good. However, if you've just been stuck on a Nintendo consoles your entire life and you never played on a PS5, you never played PC, where there's other games that have integrated game chat into the systems and or console, and you just don't know how much better multiplayer games are with game chat. They're literally a lifesaver. Literally 90% of the time, it makes the games a lot easier to understand. The only big problem with this, however, is the Nintendo Switch. As much as we hate to admit it, Nintendo is a family-friendly company. As of right now, people are changing their minds based off the pricing of the Switch 2 and the games, Mario Kart World. But so a lot of kids are going to be playing the game, so you don't want to because I would assume they're gonna have strict guidelines with the game chat to protect children and stuff like that, right? So it's gonna be interesting how we can maybe we could invite people. Maybe we have to be friends. I think we have to be friends with people to do the game chat. So if you have friends that you're friends with on your Switch already, it'll be a lot easier to play Splatoon without having to go to a third-party app such as Discord or anything like that to communicate, which is really big. Like I said, really big for the game. I'm really looking forward to that new integration being used in Splatoon 4. And the third thing that I'm actually very excited for Splatoon potentially 4, if they drop a new Splatoon game for the Nintendo Switch 2, which I assume they will, is the mouse controls. Oh, here we are. We have mouse controls on the Nintendo Switch 2. Don't forget, we actually have mouse controls. So I know a lot of people, current friends, past friends, stuff like that they love to play shooting games, but they don't like playing on controller because after a while they became used to playing on PC because, like I said, PC has better frame rates, PC this, PC that. People just prefer playing on PC nowadays, right? There's a lot of reasons why we're not going to get into it this video, but people truly just enjoy playing on PC more than controller nowadays. Even though most games started off on the consoles back in the day, people have just gotten so adapted to the mouse and keyboard controls. They turn away from playing games that are console shooting games that are console only. So in comes Splatoon 4. The Nintendo Switch 2 comes with mouse controls now. The Joy-Cons act like the mouse. So this would help with people that are so used to mouse and keyboard controls get into Splatoon more. And I think that's a really good thing. And also, besides that demographic of people, it also gives us more options on how we would like to play Splatoon. Like you can play with your Joy-Con separately, you can play with the Pro controller, my personal favorite, or you can also play mouse and keyboard controls or just mouse controls. And we don't got no keyboards here, but mouse controls with the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons. So if you're used to freehand aiming or would like to try it, you can try it. So I think that will be such an amazing addition to Splatoon 4. The mouse controls, it brings, like I said, brings more variety on how to play the game, essentially. And I'm just really excited. I personally can do a little mouse and keyboard action depending on the game. Honestly, I can't do Apex, but like Overwatch, I prefer to play mouse and keyboard on. So I can't wait to try. Hopefully, this would be a missed opportunity if Nintendo did not make a Joy-Con freehand mouse playable option for Splatoon 4. I think that would be such a missed opportunity in my personal opinion, but hopefully they do this. I would definitely give it a shot. I know a lot of people play like Splatoon in your living room or handheld, but there are people such as myself that I have a little setup in my room that I can literally do the mouse movements with. So some people like to play their games at desks is pretty much what I'm saying. So at the desk, so this would be a good option for those people if they like mouse and keyboard aiming. The idea is so crazy, but I'm absolutely stoked. Hopefully they do it. So to wrap it up, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I would like to say halfway through halfway through I said it again. Halfway through Splatoon 3's lifespan, I'd like to say I'm gonna probably say halfway, like maybe late 2023, early 2024. I personally started to feel I kind of stopped enjoying the game. I'm gonna be really transparent. I feel like I've been playing Splatoon for nearly almost 10 years now, and I feel like the gameplay hasn't changed up enough to keep me intrigued. There's a lot of new games coming out, a lot of multiplayer games that are ever so evolving or keep me more hooked than Splatoon. I did try to play again recently, pretty much online matches, and it's been taking a while to find matches lately. I would like to say a lot of people, since they stopped doing the content updates, a lot of people have stopped playing Splatoon and started playing other games, which I don't blame them for. Splatoon 3, with it didn't add as much as Splatoon 2 did, and it lacked a lot more, in my personal opinion. Like, it lacked new things, new content, and then the content that they brought from Splatoon 2, some of it they improved, but a lot of it I feel like they went backwards on, i.e. ranked and how ranked points work, etc., matchmaking, stuff like that. So it made it less enjoyable for me to play, because I feel like I wasn't playing with people on the same skill level as me on my team in particular. So I know that is a big thing for me. However, and the tick rate servers and the Wi-Fi connection and how that worked, all of that stuff kind of pushed me away from no-lifing this game like how I did back in 2017 when I first got into Splatoon 1. So long story short, I feel like Splatoon 4 potentially, with the frame rate update, with game chat integration, and with the possibility of a new way to play, a new style of play being the Joy-Con mouse controls, would honestly bring me all the way back and probably reignite the passion that started with Splatoon 1. I personally feel like those three things, I mean, there's a few little things in between as well, but I just want to focus on those three things, because those three things are like the biggest. When I say the biggest things, it's the biggest things those are selling points for people to try Splatoon out, give it a try, and discover there's the word, discover why this game has such a dedicated community as it does, because this game is a really good game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can tell you how I got into Splatoon all the time. I thought it was a silly kid game. My younger cousin, put me on, and I gave it a try, and I was like, bro, what can I get? How can squids not swim in water? Like, what are we doing? And then I got into it, and then he let me borrow the game, and he had to ask me for that game back. Like, I was addicted. So truly, I want to feel the same passion I felt back in 2017 all over again, and hopefully the Nintendo Switch 2 and Splatoon 4 potentially can do that for me. I see the potential. I see where this game can flourish. I can see where this game can appeal to a brand new audience. I see legitimately all of it. With that being said, you guys let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the potential new content that Splatoon 4 can achieve and add to the Splatoon series on the Nintendo Switch 2. Do you guys agree with my takes? Do you guys have slightly different opinions? You guys just let me know. I really want to talk about it, truly. With that being said, thank you guys again for watching. Subscribe if you're new, comment your opinions, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.